Hello. Hello everyone. We are very happy to be here and very happy to be able to show you what we've done between Decathlon and between Exotec. That's a very nice success story, and being able to share that with you for us is very important. I'll let you introduce you.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Jeremy. I'm working for Decathlon in Montréal, Canada. And I was a project manager and project owner for the deployment of the Skypod System in Montreal.
And on my side, I'm Romain Moulin. I'm CEO and I'm a co-founder of Exotec, that company doing these robots, and we will have a few words on the robots. So, let's start with a video, I think.
Small presentation of Decathlon, who we are.
To sustainably make the pleasure and benefits of sport accessible to the many. These words that we proudly state are the expression of our purpose. It is for this purpose that we, women and men at Decathlon, get up every single morning. By imagining a tent that can unfold itself, we allow millions of people to go camping. By making breathing underwater possible, we allow millions more to discover the underwater world. By focusing on eco-design for the conception of our products, we give a second life to millions of plastic bottles. Gestures from each one of us have positive and sustainable consequences for every sport user. Sometimes on the field next door, sometimes at the top of a mountain, or on the other side of the world. The pleasure and benefits of sport can be shared anywhere. In a world where sport has so much to give, providing attractive, innovative and technical products at the lowest price is not a job. It's our mission. Everywhere. For everyone. Because we love sport users. Decathlon.
Sports for the many. That's
yeah. So we are a sports article retailer, French company, and we just arrived in Canada globally.
And this is about Exotec. So Exotec is a robotics company which is famous for its Skypod robots. These little robots, you can see them on our booth next to here. They are moving on the ground, and their specialty is to climb on the racking. So they can go from anywhere to anywhere in the storage. They will move. This one is a 50,000 totes storage for Cdiscount in Paris. And you can see the robots which are moving from the station to the rack. They climb up to 40 feet, and they can take any tote and take the tote back to the station for picking. Okay, they go through what we call the avenues. They climb, take the tote. So the system can access any tote at any moment, which make it rely a lot on the algorithm. And it's a lot of mathematics behind to send the right robot at the right moment, get the right tote for the right operator on the station. It can range from smallest system have 10 robots, biggest system have up to 200 robots. From 1-2 stations up to 30 stations. You can see also on our booth the automated picker, which is usually used in combination of the manual operators. And the whole story of Exotec is trying to replace as much hardware as possible with software, because it makes it go much faster when we deploy on the site. And we can increase the density, we can modify the system afterward. That's really the idea. You can see the mounting, which is quite fast. In fact, no wiring on site, everything is plug and play. And we can add robots. That's really something important. If you tell us, I'm doing plus 20% orders, we say, okay, we get back and we add plus 20% robots. And you do this without stopping the system. Of course, the ergonomics of the workstation are extremely important. We have worked on it with Carrefour in France, with Decathlon, to get really the best working condition for the operators. The robot is based on laser guidance. That's how we find it finds its path within the storage. The payload is 30 kilograms, so works with most typical logistics. Of course, climbing on the rack is our key technology. And they operate on battery, and you don't need to stop the system. It can run 24 hours if necessary. They just charge from time to time. I talked about, we should add Decathlon. We have a nice system for Uniqlo in Japan, which is delivering all stores of Uniqlo. Our integrators are also on the trade show if you want to discuss with them. Voilà, Exotec and our technology in a few words. I think I talked about it during the video. What is important in our field, if you have a goods to person or you are doing order picking, that's about performance, and performance are two key factors: the speed of your operator, and the speed of the operator can range to 600 picks per hour usually. That's at least the speed of the robot when it's picking automatically. And the density. And the density, it's about how much article you can store in your system. Of course, we have a very good density because we stack up to the ceiling. So usually the warehouse are filled with totes. And also something important, we really use all of the totes, meaning we don't need empty spaces. So when we say you have 100,000 totes, you can fill all of these totes, and the system to work does not need any empty space, any half empty totes or things like that. So our filling rate is very good also, and it's important in the density of the system. These are the key aspects on performance, plus one which is reactivity, the ability to access any totes at any moment. In fact, it's very important if you do e-commerce, for instance. If you do e-commerce, you probably want that your customer would be able to place an order at noon and have the order in the truck at 2 o'clock. The reactivity of the system is super high because in 5 minutes, this emergency order can be done. It can access the totes needed to do the order, so it will resequence everything, and that will be the next stuff it will do. So that's also a key aspect of performance. And then all of this key aspect of performance, we add the flexibility to it. I told you we can add robots. We can also add storage. As the storage has no wire, no motor, nothing, we can just double the storage, and when it's ready, we reboot the system and the robots will start to go in the new storage. And it's also about flexibility in terms of variation of logistics that you can face. So if you are doing B2C and in 2 years you want to do B2B, you change just your logistics, your warehouse can do it. You can just send B2B orders, which will be probably much bigger than the B2C orders, and the system will do the job because it has not been built to just do a specific logistic. It can handle any logistics, and the software will cope with that. That's something extremely important, and usually that's what our customers like. We tell them, you don't know what you will do in 5 years, no worry, we'll be back, or even we don't need to be back, the stuff will handle your variation of need. So the story with Decathlon started a long time ago when Exotec was just running on 400 square meter. Now it's 4,000 square meter. Now it's 250,000 square meter. We showed to Decathlon our first prototype, in fact. And then we sold them a very nice system operating in the Netherlands, in Tilburg, which is a system for B2B and B2C, and that's important. meaning Decathlon wanted a system that would be able to replenish all of their stores and do B2C, but the proportion between B2B and B2C was not known, in fact. And they told us someday that will work in 100% B2C, and some other day it might work in 50-50. Told them no problem, and their system is really built for that. It can handle both logistics. So it's a very nice success story, which has been followed by the one that we will talk more specifically today in Montreal, and I will let you give the detail on Montreal. It's also a very nice one. And there is another story running, which is what is called the Skyfleet program. We are deploying 14 warehouses all over Europe for Decathlon. These warehouses which are doing replenishment of stores, kind of same until board. And that's a very nice story because we have switched from, we are not just delivering one warehouse, but we are building with this partner the full vision of their supply chain. I could tell, for example, in their supply chain vision, they know that they can take the robot from one warehouse and send them to another warehouse, which is super nice to balance the difference of flows. As we say, as I said, they don't really know exactly what they will do in 3 years. That's not a problem. If some of the warehouses are oversized, they will take the robot and send them to an undersized warehouse. So this overall flexibility, Decathlon is one of our partners that loves it and that has understood it very well and integrated it in their supply chain.
So I'm going to present you the project of Montreal. So Decathlon got installed in Canada in 2018, and since then we never stopped growing. Right now we are having 11 stores, and we are also preparing from the warehouse in Montreal the order for all the customers around Canada for the B2C. It's a big warehouse, 300,000 square feet, and the Skypod system got installed in a new cell which got renewed for the system to get installed in. The system is 39,000 square feet and is able to store in 29,000 SKUs, which is something really important for us because in Decathlon we are selling a big variety of products. We have more than 16,000 reference in our storage, and the Skypod system make it easy for us to deal with all those references. We have the possibility to add separators in all those storage units, which is very convenient for articles on which we have a low rotation. This year, the system we are expecting to run around 7 million articles through the system for our stores, but also for our e-commerce activity. Right now, we are having 80% of our activity, which is B2B activity, and 20% which is e-commerce activity. But we have the ambition in Canada to reach 50-50 at the horizon of 2026. So the Skypod system, which got deployed in the warehouse, is taking a full cell globally, and we have 15. The Skypod by itself is taking 15,000 square feet, and there is 55 robots running in it. Every robot has his little name, and the operators are happy to see that the same robot is providing all the article he needs to honorate the order. We have 5 picking stations, and those 5 picking stations, with those 5 picking stations, we are expecting to increase our productivity by 6. As you probably know, e-commerce activity is very unproductive globally in logistics because you don't have a massification of your products you are preparing and the order you are preparing globally. But the Skypod system is answering to those needs, because we can have SKUs in which you have a full SKU with one reference and a SKU with only 2 or 3 references, and it makes it easy for the operator to pick from it. The system is a 39 feet high rack. I think it's 36 because in the previous slide we were saying it was 36. And it was also something important for us to have the capacity to store a lot of product in a small area. With the Skypod system, we have also a conveying system, which makes it easy for us to sort all the different orders we are preparing. We can prepare at the same time orders for B2B, orders for B2C. If we have orders which necessitate to be prepared really fast, we can react fast with the Skypod system. And on each picking station, we can prepare up to 4 different orders, and we can, on the same picking station, if we want, prepare order for B2B and also for B2C. So the project was quite fast. We started the discussion with Exotec on February 2021, and we went through all the design phase in less than 1 month and a half, and we signed the agreement on April 1st. What was important for us was the delay of deployment of the system, because we wanted to be ready for the spring-summer season for 2022. And we chose a very simple design at the beginning with only the Skypod and a small conveying system. Since we made the choice of having a very, very simple system, we were able to deploy on December the 2nd of 2021. We are a sports company, and we don't want to take care of all the maintenance part of the system. We don't want to deal with all the small issues the robots can face during the day, and there is not much. So Exotec is providing for us a 24/7 hotline, and they can operate to resolve the small issues the robots can face in live. They don't need to stop the system to get the small issue resolved. Even during the night, when we are not on site, because right now we are not opened on 3/8, they can just access remotely the system to be able to resolve an issue. For example, if there is a leak in the system and the robot should stop, they are always monitoring the health of the system. Also, sometimes, and to ensure that they respect their engagement of 98% of availability of the system, they need to do a preventive maintenance, and to do that we have an expert engineer for the maintenance, which is on site 40 hours a week. The project went quite fast, only 9 months, and we had during this phase a big part which was the IT for us. Exotec was deploying its first WCS in Montréal, and we've done a lot of testing prior to the launching to make sure that everything was running smoothly. So we had around 1 month of pre-production tests, and once the system was fully built, it took us less than 2 weeks to test physically if the system was responding to our needs, and to make sure that everything was running properly.
So, maybe you would tell us why Decathlon chose Exotec for this project?
Yeah, I think there is 5 main reasons why we worked with Exotec. The first one is, of course, that we had already a site running with Exotec, which was Tilburg, and it was making it easy for us because there was development to do if we needed to the system to be running quite fast. And since all the development was already done on our side, it was quite easy. The second reason is of course the efficiency of the system. With the 5 picking stations we are having, we can prepare up to 1,500 orders per hour. And be sure that the system is not the limit. We can see that the operators right now are limiting the capacity of the system, and it will take a little bit of time for the operator to reach the machine capacity. The third reason, I would say, is the resilience. We are the only warehouse in Canada for Decathlon, and if for any reason the system is not working, we are not able to prepare order, there is 4 weeks for stores to be replenished from Europe or from the production. So we needed a system which was resilient, and since the 55 robots you've seen on the video earlier are operating independently, it makes it not very harmful. If there is, for example, one robot which is breaking in the system, you still have 54 robots running in the system, and you are not condemning a big part of your storage area. You will condemn maybe 5 or 6 references. Scalability was also part of our choice, a big criterion for us. We installed ourselves in 2018, and since then we never stopped growing. And for sure we are going to open many more stores in the upcoming years. But we wanted a solution which could accompany us on this global project. So when we will need the system to be more performant, if we need more storage, for example, we can add racking, and if we need more capacity of picking, we can add more picking station. And this is a long-term scalability, but there is also the short-term scalability. During the year, for us in Decathlon, the summer is a big period. We are doing a lot of sales, and we need to be able to respond to the increase of activity. And the possibility for Exotec to rent us some robots to increase the capacity during the year for 1 month, 2 months is also something which is very interesting for us to respond to the global needs. Ergonomy was also a big criterion for us. Sometimes automation project can be very noisy for the operators. It can be not nice for them to work on, but the Skypod is not very noisy, and it was very important for us. Also the ergonomy, the physical ergonomy for the people, which was also something important for us. So the robots are always coming at the right height, and it's easy for us and the operator to pick from the robots which are bringing the article. And also sustainability, but I think it's something common in all automation projects. It makes it easy for us to reduce the opening hours of the warehouse because the system is performant. We don't need to open during 24 hours to be able to respond to the global activity. So those were the main criterion which make us choose Exotec.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have these words in the mouth of a customer. It's better than when I say it. I should add a few words about the culture of the companies because you might not know, but Decathlon has a very strong company culture, and so does Exotec. Decathlon, these guys are sports people, so it means even in the hiring process, I would say they are looking for people that have a very good level in sports, and you can see that in the everyday life when you are working with these people. They like to go fast. They like to go fast, and they're super reactive and super agile. And I think that's something, you will tell me, but something that they found an echo in the Exotec way of doing things. We tend to be fast. The company is 6 years old now, and we'll do 200 million euros this year, so going fast. But we also want to be agile and to be able to take turns. And we have built this relation with Decathlon, which works super well, because a few people know each other, they know where they are going, we are super transparent on our price, on the performance, on this stuff. And most of the time, Decathlon can already quote the next warehouse themselves because they know where we are going. And we build together the future generation and the roadmap. So it's a customer which is extremely nice to work with. And I think, yeah, from a cultural perspective, it works well.
Yeah. It was important for us to have a company which can accompany us on a short delay to deploy the system. And globally, we've worked with a small group of people of Exotec, and they were very implied in the project. They never count their hours, and it was very nice for us as a customer to know that we are supported on the project and that the delay will be respected.
So this warehouse, it's only the beginning of a long-lasting partnership with Decathlon. As I said, we have many warehouses running in Europe. We'll have other one in North America probably, yeah, it's a very nice example to my eyes of just not being a material handling vendor, but being a supply chain solutions provider. That's what I like this story. And that's it. Do you have any question? Yeah, do we have a mic? Maybe, yeah, we come closer.
Speak a little bit more about compliance in Canada. What was the hardest in the project? Were there anything around fire suppression?
Okay, so question about compliance and fire suppression in Canada.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, good question. In Canada, globally, and our insurance company was also very exigent on the fire security we had to provide for the system. It was for us a big part of the project. Until the end of the design phase, we had to change globally the system and the security design, security fire design. And yeah, that's
yeah, there's always a discussion to be held with the insurance company.
Yeah.
So Exotec is compliant to FM Global. It has changed a bit this last 2 years. The FM has been modified, but we have modified the totes and the racks to be compliant to the last requirement of the FM Global. And that the system is very nice, I would say, to fire suppress, because you can put an intermediate layer of sprinkling system. But it's always good also, I would say, to go first to your insurance company and to limit the requirement, as we use the FM Global as a standard and say, okay, because if you let the insurance company ask what they want, it can be very expensive. So hopefully we have the standards for us. I can also say from a compliance perspective, it has been a bit of a paperwork, because this one was the first installation in Canada for Exotec. And working in Canada had some paperwork to be done, but now it's done. We are ready to deploy much more. Are there any other questions? Woo! Oh. Yes, the system can work with either 200 millimeters, 300 millimeters, 400 millimeters, or even sometimes we did not talk about that. That's what is running on Tilburg. We have trays, and we put the carton on the trays. So you can do very nice stuff with that. You can open the cartons automatically, place them on trays automatically, and then you skip completely the replenishment. You have a fully automated replenishment. So it really depends on the logistic of the customer, even compartment or no compartment. So same robot, same bottom of tote, but depending on the use, we change the tote. We can do stuff like that. Yeah, we can have a double dip, so the robot, when it's moving in the rack, can access either a single dip, either double dip racks. So we can have two totes, one between the... That's why the density, when we are at 12 meters, the density is super high. Sorry?
You said that in my hand is 400 items, with the robot it's 600 items.
Yeah. They don't have an automated picker on Montreal, but the one which is running on the booth, you can see you have the manual station and the automated robot. So manual station is running at 400, 450 totes per hour, and picking robot is running at 600 picks per hour. Okay. Well, if there is no more question, thanks a lot for having heard us and for your interest in that story. And thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.